In 360 BC, the Greek philosopher Plato wrote about an island empire that vanished beneath the waves in a single day and night. An advanced civilization destroyed by the gods for its arrogance and greed. For 2,400 years, people have been obsessed with finding it. Expeditions have searched the Mediterranean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean, Antarctica, and dozens of other locations. Millions of dollars have been spent. Careers have been dedicated to the search. The lost city of Atlantis. The most famous legend in human history. But here's the question nobody seems to ask. What if Plato was just making it up? This is the real story of Atlantis, and it's stranger than you think. Let's start with what Plato actually wrote, because most people haven't read it. Plato describes Atlantis in two dialogues, Timaeus and Creaeus. In these texts, an Egyptian priest tells a Greek visitor about an ancient civilization that existed 9,000 years before their time. According to Plato, Atlantis was a massive island located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which is the Strait of Gibraltar. The island was larger than Libya and Asia Minor combined. It was the heart of a great empire that controlled parts of Africa and Europe. The Atlanteans were powerful and advanced. Their capital city was a marvel of engineering. Concentric rings of water and land, connected by bridges and tunnels. Walls covered in precious metals. Temples decorated with gold, silver, and ivory. Hot and cold running water. A massive harbor filled with ships. But the Atlanteans became corrupt. They grew greedy and aggressive. They tried to conquer the Mediterranean. And that's when things went wrong. The Athenians, ancestors of Plato's audience, fought back and defeated the Atlantean invasion. Shortly after, the gods punished Atlantis. In a single day and night of earthquakes and floods, the entire island sank beneath the ocean, gone forever. That's the story. Now, let's examine it. The first thing to understand is that Plato was a philosopher, not a historian. He used stories to teach moral and political lessons. He invented fictional dialogues all the time. The allegory of the cave, the allegory of the chariot, the allegory of the allegory. Making up illustrative stories was literally his job, and the Atlantis story has a very clear moral. Pride leads to destruction. The gods punish those who become arrogant and aggressive. Atlantis was great until it became corrupt. Then it was destroyed. This is Philosophy 101, a cautionary tale. A warning about hubris. But here's what makes the Atlantis story different from Plato's other allegories. He claimed it was true. He said it was real history, passed down from Egyptian priests. And people believed him. Asterisk, asterisk over the centuries. The search for Atlantis has gone in dozens of directions. Some researchers focused on the Atlantic Ocean, since that's what Atlantis sounds like. They searched the Azores, the Canary Islands, the Caribbean, even Antarctica. No luck. Others looked closer to Greece. The most popular modern theory connects Atlantis to the Minoan civilization on the island of Crete and nearby Santorini. Around 1600 BC, a massive volcanic eruption destroyed the island of Thera, now called Santorini. The explosion was one of the largest in human history. It generated tsunamis that devastated Crete. The advanced Minoan civilization collapsed shortly after. The parallels are compelling. An advanced island civilization. A sudden catastrophic destruction. A massive wave of water. The timing doesn't match Plato's story, which placed Atlantis 9,000 years before his time. But maybe Plato got the numbers wrong. Or maybe the Egyptian priests exaggerated. Other candidates include locations in Spain, Morocco, Ireland, the Black Sea, and even the Sahara Desert, which was once much wetter than it is today. Each theory has its advocates. Each has its problems. But here's the thing that Atlantis believers don't like to hear. There is zero archaeological evidence that Atlantis existed. None, not a single artifact, not a single inscription, not a single verified ruin. Every proposed discovery of Atlantis has either been debunked or remains unverified. Compare that to Troy. For centuries, people thought the Trojan War was just a myth from Homer's Iliad. Then, in the 1870s, archaeologists actually found Troy. It was real. The physical evidence was there, with Atlantis. We've been searching for 2,400 years and found nothing. At some point, the absence of evidence becomes evidence of absence. So, what's the most likely explanation? Most historians and archaeologists believe that Plato invented Atlantis. It was a philosophical fiction designed to make a point about political corruption and divine punishment. He may have drawn inspiration from real historical events, like the destruction of Helike, a Greek city that was swallowed by the sea in 373 BC. Just a few years before Plato wrote about Atlantis. He may have incorporated legends and rumors about distant lands beyond the Mediterranean. But the specific island empire of Atlantis, with its concentric rings and advanced technology, that was Plato's imagination. Does this mean Atlantis has no value? Not at all. The search for Atlantis has driven real exploration and archaeology. It's inspired countless works of art, literature, and film. The idea of a lost, advanced civilization speaks to something deep in human nature. Our fear that progress isn't permanent. That what we build can be lost. And there are real lost civilizations that we've discovered. Göbekli Tepe, which we talked about yesterday. The Indus Valley Civilization. The Khmer Empire. These were all forgotten for centuries and then rediscovered, so maybe there are still lost civilizations out there, waiting to be found. Just probably not the one Plato described. Atlantis is a story. A powerful story. A story that has captivated humanity for 24 centuries. But that's what it is. A story, and sometimes the stories we tell reveal more about us than they do about history. If you found this interesting, subscribe. Because tomorrow, we're looking at something that's definitely real, but shouldn't be possible. The Antikythera mechanism, an ancient Greek device found at the bottom of the ocean. A 10-year-old computer, and scientists still don't fully understand how they built it. That's tomorrow. Subscribe so you don't miss it.